Something absolutely unthinkable occurred last night at precisely 2:47 a.m. in a dilapidated, off-the-map motel just outside of Sacramento. Police have launched an urgent inquiry after discovering Chrisean Rock alone in a position that no one could have imagined. Authorities are reportedly working extra hours, and someone from the shadows has already published extremely unsettling, unreleased footage. The internet is in full-blown meltdown mode about what transpired between Chrisean Rock and Blueface. Hasn't seen sunshine yet, and you may change your mind on Chrisean's forever after learning what was in that chamber. Was this a premeditated act, a desperate cry for help, or something much more sinister? Hold on, because what you're about to hear is not only shocking, but it's also the first step in realizing this moment. We have to travel back in time. Chrisean Rock's life has been nothing less than an insane roller coaster full of grief, fame, and public collapse, ever since she first gained notoriety with Blueface. Headlines, public outbursts, physical altercations, arrests, and weeping. Live streaming were all part of their turbulent relationship. Everything was playing out like a reality show. And no one could stop Dot from being the unapologetically honest, fearless renegade. Her loved ones, however, whispered a different tale, one that was rife with emotional instability, warning indications of mental illness and private breakdowns that were too severe to overlook. Even Blueface's own group started to turn away. Then the pregnancy arrived. Chrisean revealed her pregnancy just as the world was beginning to settle down after the upheaval of her previous public display. Social media erupted almost instantly, with images being shared, accusations flying in all ways, and the material being analyzed like videos of forensic evidence. Returned, disheveled memes swarmed across timelines, some insulting, some displaying a strange type of support. Haters doubled down, admirers became detectives, and live streams became battlefields due to the perverse form of camaraderie seen on the internet. Her already unpredictable online persona became even more erratic. One minute she was live, her eyes flashing, her emotions running high. And then her subsequent posts were inexplicably removed, leaving behind cryptic subtitles that would appear and then vanish hours later. Those who were close to her colleagues, co-workers, and relatives who had once been a regular part of her life began to fade away, whether deliberately or not. Kay began slowly fading away, and no one knew why. And all of a sudden, there was nothing. Left no new music, no awkward interviews, no paparazzi pictures, no tweets, no stories. No accidental deaths, the kind of silence that beats out any breakdown. Others feared something darker, that the silence wasn't healing but hollowing. That it wasn't retreat but collapse in a digital age where we're used to witnessing people fall apart in real time. While some fans hoped she had finally done what so many had pleaded with her to do, step away, take care of herself, and find some peace. The chronology that had previously throbbed with her was now unsettling, like a room deserted in the middle of a debate. Rumors began to circulate. Was she secure? Has there been any behind-the-scenes activity? Was the infant all right? The line between interest and concern blurred, as so often occurs in the age of social media. Some expressed their sympathies and prayers, while others conjectured with voyeuristic delight. What had previously seemed like a publicity gimmick, or a whirlwind of drama, began to feel more like a black hole as weeks passed with no answers. The rumors started to spread as the absence became the main subject. There may be a genuine person suffering behind the confusion and drama. A young woman who has survived, according to these murmurs, which are the kind that don't merely trend, but remain. Not only had she stopped talking, but she had disappeared. So thoroughly that up until this point, not even her closest friends and relatives knew about her. Nobody could have foreseen what transpired next, and a leaked emergency dispatch call provided the first clue that something was severely amiss. Sometimes silence isn't serenity. Sometimes it's the scream no one hears. Living her life out there, for the world to see now, perhaps negotiating something too real and painful to share what we know. makes all those questions we asked during the silence appear eerily urgent. 10 to 56 unresponsive women in their mid-20s in room 106 of the infamously dilapidated Meadow Pines Motel. A place usually linked to drugs and desperation, one cop reportedly remarked. I've walked in on a lot of scenes, but never anything like this. Officers found Chrisean Rock face down on a soiled mattress, with shattered glass, smudged makeup, and red lipstick on the mirror. They also found Chrisean Rock alive, but barely hanging on in the room. All of them were dishonest. As paramedics rushed in, Christian fought, shouting, "Don't take me. I know what I saw." Motel guests took phone recordings of everything, and in a matter of minutes, the recordings were posted to TikTok. In one movie, she clutches her chest and screams about being betrayed and set up by the industry. Later, the most horrifying development occurred when an unidentified Reddit user posing as a motel employee shared a photo of a burner phone they had discovered beneath a bed, complete with a shattered screen and a taped-in battery. Jay was the sole contact that appeared on the phone when it was turned on. Jay is who? An insider? A handler gone rogue? Or a resentful ex? That phone's most recent message was, "It's done." She was unaware that there was more going on here than a simple mental health issue. She was being watched, and as internet investigators frantically tried to piece together the clues, things became more sinister. What looked to be a body cam snapshot was published by a now suspected Twitter account, captioning the photo of her breaking down and showing officers pointing at a concealed camera behind a motel vent. Cardi B says, "This industry eats woman. Alive, protect Christian at all costs." As if it were entertainment, the post had over 800,000 views before being taken down. And celebrities jumped in to lend a hand. Chris E. Summerwalker posted a fascinating story on Instagram, but we already know what they did, so don't trust it. Blueface came under fire from fans who accused him of gaslighting and evading accountability. Here's the reason she keeps breaking. Read one TikTok that went viral. Why does he always appear when she is at her lowest point? Silence was broken even by Blueface, who had been hauntingly silent. You people think anything. She's just being dramatic as usual. The biggest shock followed. Because Snapchat was hijacked, a 23-second narrative went live and vanished before anyone could respond, making it one of Chrisean's single quotations. The footage shows her pacing the motel room while saying, "They said they'd ruin me and they said they'd leak it." She is obviously shaken. Why was she so worried that they would tell? And more significantly, who was she terrified of? "I believed he loved me." Like wildfire, the theories exploded. Was it a legal bombshell that might destroy her career and unreleased? Diss track aimed at a powerful individual or a covert pregnancy? There was little doubt about it. Christian was being hunted now that she wasn't merely plummeting. And the internet reacted wildly, with YouTube creators starting live streams continuously. Detectives on TikTok created entire case boards, with timelines, color-coded theories, and pins linking each piece of evidence. One of the most well-liked comments read, "If anything happens to her, we'll know exactly who did it." After comparing timestamps and GPS metadata, the internet went into detective mode, conjecturing that he was referring to a former rapper who is now an executive with a documented history of coercion. But not everyone felt sorry for her. Some said she was merely trying to get attention, while others said she was the one who started the controversy. Then direct chats between an unnamed record company assistant and a former stylist were exposed. "We advised her to remain silent, but she disregarded our counsel and went to see him." The mainstream media also carried the headline, "Christian Breakdown or Setup." In a scathing opinion piece titled "The Industry's Obsession with Breaking Women Who Refuse to Behave," Stone examined insiders' manipulation of rolling, which was a sign of a sick systemic issue. The final blow came just when it seemed impossible for things to grow any more convoluted. Chrisean wasn't supposed to be there, according to a single horrifying comment posted by an anonymous but confirmed Twitter journalist. Attached was grainy security footage from a motel that showed a mysterious man carrying what looked like a hard drive while wearing low gloves and a sweatshirt. They departed the motel 2 hours before the police showed up. And even more frightening is the fact that they used a key card, which shows that someone had given them access rather than breaking in. An individual with knowledge of the investigation stated, "We're now treating this as a potential criminal operation involving digital surveillance, coercion, and exploitation. The most disturbing discovery of all was a voice message, allegedly from Chrisean's missing phone, that was sent anonymously to multiple blogs, even though the investigation was officially classified as high priority." If you're hearing this, something happened. "Wasn't an accident," she said in a frail but anxious voice. "Never trust anybody, not even him." Then there was quiet. Since Chrisean hasn't blogged or been seen, the motel room is covered with crime scene tape. Nobody knows where she is right now. However, something tells us that this isn't the end. So what do you think truly happened that's staying in room 100 for the night? Are there more evil secrets than we could have ever imagined? Or was this a purposeful strike from within the industry? Or is a more important chapter yet to come? We're monitoring everyone, so please share your ideas in the comments section. We assure you that you will want to be the first to know when the truth is exposed. So please hit the like button, subscribe so you don't miss anything else, and enable the notifications if you believe Chriseans should be granted justice. Keep an eye out, exercise caution, and most of all, be ready for what can happen next. Could change your life forever.